Well, that shot right there tells it all. A rainy night here at the Coliseum, but there is some good news. The tarp has been taken off the field, and really the rain has stopped. We're not going to start at 7 o'clock, but we are going to play baseball tonight, as hopefully the skies will clear up and that rain will go away. But the tarp is off the field, and they're getting the field ready to play. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Whatever happens in this 2011 season, Ray, I think one of the things we'll remember it's been the season of rain, even here in the Bay Area, so it's going to be another delay tonight.
Yeah, let's check out Lake Tahoe, see if it's snowing. Then we'll know this really a big problem, but never seen the rain this late in the month of June, late in the season. So at least the field was able to be covered. You can see in the background the tarp has been taken off, and they're talking about baseball, which is good. So even though it may be a light rain, be able to play the game, because remember the Marlins are in town just for 3 games with interleague play. So any chance of a makeup would have to be a doubleheader tomorrow. Have to do it tomorrow. So let's hope tonight's game is played in its entirety, get it over with, and hopefully start pretty close to the on time.
All right, we have been told that the game will start at 7:30. 7:30, so we can rejoin us here at the Coliseum right around 7:25. So that is the scheduled start time for tonight's game right now. Again, 7:25. Join us back here at the Coliseum. So get the field ready, and we will have baseball tonight. The Athletics and the Marlins. Stick around. 7:30, as there is going to be a field evaluation as the tarp is off the field and the dirt on the infield has been taken care of.
Gio Gonzalez has found a groove. Over his past 2 starts, he has been outstanding, striking out 18 and allowing only 3 runs. And tonight, he will take on his hometown team, the Florida Marlins. The Southpaw will show off the South Florida faithful that he would be a nice pick to represent the Athletics in the All-Star game. His 2.59 ERA is 6th best in the American League as he continues to grow into one of the elite pitchers in the American League. The A's open up another National League East Interleague Series. It's the Marlins and the Athletics next.
Ready for baseball. Gio Gonzalez will take the hill tonight for the Athletics. It's the first of a 3-game series. More interleague baseball for the Athletics. It's the A's and the Florida Marlins coming up right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hey everybody, welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. After an off day at home for the A's, they're back in action, taking on a Marlins team, Ray, that last time they were in the Bay Area, they swept the Giants, and they were feeling pretty good. But they have had an historically bad month of June, 3-22.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe because they do have some outstanding players. Of course, they have a new manager as well, 80-year-old Jack McKeon. But you look at where they were and where they are now. It's just hard to believe they were just behind the Phillies at 31-22, and now 34-44, which, again, very hard to believe when you have the type of ball club that they do have. Granted, they're in a very tough Eastern Division of the National League, but still, they're too good of a ball club to be where they are now.
Yeah, they have some of the best young talent in all of baseball. Gio Gonzalez takes the hill tonight, and he has had 2 very good starts in a row.
He's wearing a green tonight, which shocked me because he's at home and wearing the alternate green jersey. Pitching in the gold against Kansas City was outstanding. His fastball has been great. 9 strikeouts against the Royals, 9 with the fastballs and 1 with the curveball. Of course, he backed it up on the East Coast. But Gio Gonzalez, I think what we're seeing right now, Kipe, is that he's relying more on his fastball. He's the outstanding curveball. But remember, he was hitting guys in the back foot, the right-handers. He got to win away from it. Now he's throwing more fastballs. He's got a great one. When you can throw a fastball by a hitter, when he's looking at for 3-1, it's a pretty good pitcher.
Now the A's will see a veteran right-hander, Javier Vasquez, for the Florida Marlins. Vasquez not having a very good year. So the rain is gone. The rain delay looks like it's going to be just a little bit over an hour. But we are just about set to go. Lineup cards are being exchanged at home plate as we speak. The field looks good. The concern with all the rain, Ray, was the new grass in the outfield, which was put in because of the U2 concert. Right. And it's only really a couple weeks old, and that's the concern because the water was not really draining that well with that new grass, so they spent a lot of their time on the outfield area, the grass mostly in center field.
And unfortunately for the outfielders, that's where they dump the tarp. The tarp covers the infield, the dirt part, which is rightfully so, and the behind home plate, the pitcher's mound, but then they dump the water. And there's been a lot of water that they were squeegeeing in the outfield. But I think you're correct. Whenever you see the ground crew using the squeegees to move the water in the outfield, that says it's not draining that well, which is surprising. Clay Wood and his crew does a tremendous job on this field. There's no doubt. And with the new grass, and I'm sure Jack McKeon, who is down going over the ground rules right now at home plate with manager Bob Melvin, and Jack is saying, I remember this when I managed the Oakland A's. Not much has changed. What's that structure in center field? Why are those tarps up on the outfield, the upper deck? But Jack McKeon, good to see him back. And it's amazing that they have to have rain on June 28th to wash those tarps. They look nice and green.
Yeah.
But, it's amazing that maybe it's going to be rain once a month until football starts. They start taking them down. But how about Jack McKeon?
Yeah.
He's upset because they had that YouTube or Jiffy Lube concert that he's called it in Florida. They had to move up to Seattle. He comes here, and they're looking at the grass in the outfield because of the YouTube concert. Yeah. And they had to resod it. But Jack McKeon, what a great story. 80 years young. And, I mean, that's a tremendous story for him to come back after winning the championship in 03 with the Marlins. That is Joel Skinner, not the skipper, Bob Melvin. It is, could not tell from the back who that was, but we knew Jack McKeon. He's holding court. Jack, time to play baseball. Pitchers are ready. Okay?
Here's the game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 58 degrees at game time. And we are hoping the rain does not come back. They've talked about it maybe a little bit later on in the evening, but right now it is gone. And the field looks good, and the A's are taking the field with the green tops, and we have not seen the green tops at home in a long time, but they're wearing them tonight.
I asked Gio about that. I walked the club. I said, wait a minute, what's going on? He said, we lost. We ended our streak. in the gold, so we have to change it up a little bit. This is unusual because Gio would always wear the black alternate or the gold jersey alternate here at the Coliseum, but tonight he goes with the green, trying to get another streak started.
So let's look at the Florida Marlins lineup for tonight. Emilio Bonifacio, very fast. He's in the leadoff spot. He'll play left field. Omar Infante. Infante is the second baseman, not short. Gabby Sanchez at first. Hanley Ramirez is the shortstop. Mike Stanton, very powerful. He's one of the rising stars in the National League. He's in right field. Jose Lopez at third. Logan Morrison is the DH. John Buck will catch. Dwayne Wise is in center field.
About three of those guys, we know who they are, right? But we do know who Gio Gonzalez is. Gio making the start, 259 earned run average, very impressive. 6-5. You wonder how he's even lost 5 games the way he pitches, but he is outstanding. Of course, as Kat mentioned, South Florida, Miami is where he grew up. Of course, Hialeah, Florida. I'm sure his dad, mom, brother watching the game back in Florida as he has taken on the Marlins tonight. But it'd be nice to start this 9-game homestand with a good pitching performance from Gio Gonzalez. No more National League, no more pitchers hitting. They put the bats away and concentrate on pitch.
The defense for the Athletics looks like this. Sweeney is in left. Crisp in center. DeJesus in right. Sizemore, Pennington, Weeks, and Jackson. It's the infield. Kurt Suzuki behind the plate for Gio Gonzalez. So Gio has finished his warm-up tosses, and we are set for baseball. The Florida Marlins in town. So we'll give you the exact time of the rain delay.
For the Marlins and playing left field, number 1, Emilio Bonifacio.
So Emilio Bonifacio, the left fielder, steps in. So Gio Gonzalez pitching against his hometown team. So we got a nice group of people watching back home. It's going to be a little late back in Miami, but that's all right. First pitch of the game is a fastball, first strike. So 8-17 first pitch.
8-17.
Bonifacio hitting .259 with a homer and 12 RBIs. He is a switch hitter. He's very, very fast. Breaking balls low, 2-1.
First fastball is 92 miles per hour, and of course, I don't think any pitcher, although Gio, of all the pitchers this year, should be accustomed to rain delays. He seems to have been involved in 3.
I think so, yeah.
The one in Texas that was actually rained out,
right.
And then the game here against the Angels that ended up winning that game, but long rain delay.
So the 3-1 is a fastball first strike. 3-2. 1 hour and 12-minute rain delay. 1 hour, 12 minutes. Felt longer than that, didn't it?
Just don't have to water the grass. That's
no,
all.
there will be no watering of the grass for a while. Bonifacio fouls it back.
You drive down the street and see all the sprinklers running, pouring down rain. Nobody expects rain in June in California.
Well, there was, from what I was told, there are some parts of the Bay Area that got over an inch of rain today. Maybe in the North Bay, they always get hit pretty hard up there, but it rained pretty much all day.
It's a new record, right?
Weeks dives, he cannot quite get it, and the ball into right field. So Bonifacio with the leadoff single. Remember, we had back-to-back rain delays against the Angels earlier this year, and Gio was part of that.
And he won. He shut out the Angels in that game. 14-0 was the final score in the game. That was a rain delay. 7 innings, 1 hit. Outstanding. And after the first inning, he might change back into the gold jersey.
That would be interesting.
Be the lone player on the mound in gold.
See, just 1 win in the month of June, but he really has pitched pretty well. In fact, Gio has just 1 win in his last 7 starts, but it's not because he's pitched poorly. He really has pitched pretty well. Bounce toward Weeks. He charges, flips to Pennington. Pennington flat-footed throws to first, and Omar Infante is going to beat the throw. Close play. See, Pennington really couldn't get any momentum moving toward first base.
I think he thought Jamal Weeks was going to tag the runner and then throw to first base, because the ball arrived about the same time as Bonifacio did, and then he flipped the ball back, and you're right, he caught Cliff flat-footed. It's something that these guys are learning to play with each other as far as how to handle certain plays. I think when Mark Ellis playing second, that's something different for Cliff Pennington. Of course, now he is calling the coverage at second base in the event there's a steal attempt.
On the ground, Pennington to Weeks, and Gabby Sanchez hits into the double play. And just like that, the top of the first comes to an end. Bottom of the first coming up. Yeah, give me the hand.
Mike Gallego. Leading out for the Athletics, second baseman.
No score, bottom of the first inning. And let's check out the Athletics lineup. Weeks, Pennington, Crisp, Matsui, Jackson, Sweeney, Suzuki, DeJesus, and Sizemore.
The A's last saw tonight's starter for the Marlins in a Yankee uniform, Javier Vasquez. Javier, 4-7 on the season. A very, very good pitcher. He is a workhorse. 200 innings every season, pretty much when he takes the mound. Every fifth day, they give him the baseball, and he pitches well. At least he has against the A's.
And been around a long time. 14th year in the big leagues, but he's just 34 years old. Weeks, Pennington, and Chris, so 3 switch hitters at the top of the A's lineup. That's the way it's been now for, well, really probably since Josh Willingham went on the disabled list. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Pop up. Could be playable. Buck coming back near the seats, and it drops just into the second row. Here's the defense for the Florida Marlins. Bonifacio in left, Wise in center, Stanton in right, Lopez, Ramirez, Infante, Sanchez around the infield, and John Buck. I've seen John Buck quite a bit. A lot of time in the American League. He will be behind the plate.
The year with the Blue Jays and then signed with the Marlins did John Buck. 3 home run game against the Athletics in Toronto.
Weeks hitting .309 with no home runs and 6 runs batted in. Three for 12 in that series in Philadelphia over the weekend. Probably a little bit of a thrill for Jamal Weeks playing Philadelphia. Big crowds playing against the team that the best record in baseball. And he's losing 2 out of 3.
Well, he's happy to be in New York to see Jose Reyes firsthand. Of course, player that he grew up watching. I'm surprised he didn't say he grew up watching his brother Ricky play. You know, I can mention anybody else besides his brother. I know he mentions him as well, but also Philadelphia, Jimmy Rollins, the veteran shortstop. So a couple of guys around the bag. I'm sure he's very happy to be able to see firsthand.
Another 1-2 pitch. And another foul ball. This one down the left field line. The A's come in 35-44, and they're 19-16 at home. Not a good road trip. 2-4. New York and Philadelphia. In interleague, the A's are 5-7, and this 3-game series against the Marlins, and then 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks over the weekend, and then that is it for interleague play for this year.
And for a while, the A's seem to always have the best record in interleague play. The Marlins top of the list.
Curveball grounded to first. Gabby Sanchez has it, and that is out number 1.
The Dodge Charger keys to the game. Keep the rain away. Oh, that's not okay. Vasquez 4 straight wins against the A's, of course, in the American League. The offense,
Number 2.
take advantage of the Marlins scuffle. That's their word. Jack McKeon, he looks as young as he always has, doesn't he? Yep. Sharp as a tack. I mean, what better life to have, you know? He's considered an interim manager as Edwin Rodriguez retired, or resigned from the post.
And he did not come out of nowhere, Ray. He was with the Marlins in the front office, special advisor to their owner, and he had been there for a while.
Jeffrey Loring. So, in fact, he hired him in 03, and he took over and then won the World Series. The Marlins actually have won twice.
That one's driven left center and deep. Wise gets back there and he makes the catch.
A little heavy air with the rain, so the ball's not going to be carrying that well.
A's went to the disabled list again today. Grant Balfour, unfortunately, was bothered by that oblique strain on his right side. Hadn't pitched in a while. I think the A's probably waited as long as they could and then decided that it was time. So Tristan Magnuson, who we saw briefly earlier in the year, is called up. So Balfour to the disabled list.
It goes retroactively, I think about 5 or 6 days, so pitched to last in New York. But I'm sure Bob Melvin disappointed that he's not going to have him for the 8th inning, but does have Joy Devine, Michael Works, Brad Ziegler. He's got a whole bunch of guys he can still turn to in the 7th, 8th, 9th. There's Andrew Bailey, healthy again, back as a closer. There's Beetle Bailey. On the left side, of course, Greg Breslow next to him. Ryan Fuentes, so good bullpen. Just seems when one goes on the DL, somebody can always come up, whether it's a starter or a reliever. Good news about Rich Harden. He's going to make the start Friday.
How about that?
That's great.
Coco fouls it back, keeps the count 1-2. .264 with a couple of home runs and 25 runs batted in for Coco Crisp. And another foul ball.
Well, gentlemen, Graham Godfrey made 3 starts, picked up his win against the Giants, then started against the Mets. He is now in the bullpen. I mentioned Rich Harden with the off day yesterday. Rich will be pitching Friday. In the next 2 games, we'll see Moscoso and Cahill. So Graham Godfrey, very versatile, head down to the bullpen, especially with Balfour going on the disabled list. For some move will have to be made to get Rich Harden on the roster on Friday, but Godfrey has been very impressive. as has, of course, Outman coming off the surgery, and Moscoso has been unbelievable. Vasquez is going to run up his pitch counts on foul balls.
Yep. Pitch number 20 coming up. Matsui would hit next if Coco can get aboard. Driven to center. Wise racing back again, and he's going to make the catch. So Dwayne Wise getting his workout in center field, and the A's go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first.
Hi fans, and welcome to the
Based on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Wendy's. Stop by Wendy's today to try the new berry almond chicken salad for a limited time. No score, top of the second inning, the A's and the Florida Marlins. After a 1 hour, 12-minute rain delay here at the Coliseum. So how many is that this year? 3?
3 in Oakland for sure, yeah.
Two of the Angels and then this one. 4th. I must have missed one somewhere. The Orioles were here. We had a rain delay. One and 1 to Hanley Ramirez, hitting in the cleanup spot. He'll be followed by Mike Stanton and then Jose Lopez. The Marlins have 4 of the better young offensive players in all of baseball, and I mean young, and this is one of them, Hanley Ramirez. I'm also talking about Gabby Sanchez, the first baseman, Logan Morrison, who's DHing tonight, and maybe the best of all is Mike Stanton, the right fielder. These guys are young and they are talented.
This guy's huge. He can hit some shots. Once you pull up the pant legs, he really looks like Paul Bunyan when he does that.
First pitch, 95 right on the outside corner, just a little off the plate. 3-2 to Ramirez.
3-2 to Bonifacio, and then the next 2 swung at the first pitch.
Good fastball right by a swinging Hanley Ramirez, and that's out number 1.
Just challenged, and we showed him pitching against the Royals. That's what he did then, and this is what he did tonight. And why not? When you have a 94-plus fastball, challenge, and Ramirez just lifted the front leg, looked fastball, couldn't catch up to it. That says a lot about the fastball of Gio Gonzalez.
So here is Mike Stanton hitting .259 with 16 home runs, 44 runs batted in.
Should call him Big John.
Big Mike. Well, his batting practices are already legendary, and he has not even played a full year in the Major League. Mike Stanton.
That 2-0 changeup. See if he's going to challenge him 3-0, and should just. You throw a fastball by Ramirez the way he did. That should say a lot about the fastball.
3-0. That's a big rip. Stanton is 6'5", 250 pounds. And he's 21 years old. He was a second-round pick in 2007 by the Marlins. Pretty good choice. Played in 100 games last year and hit 22 home runs. Skies this one to shallow right. It will come down at some point. DeJesus is under it. He's got it. Out number 2. Here's our Ford right choice, and it has to do with Mike Stanton. A couple of home runs he hit in May. This one at Citi Field. We were just there, Ray. This one was 465 feet. Move over, Apple.
Yeah. There's.
And watch this one. That was at Nationals Park. This one was 437 feet. He is a big guy.
But it's his home park. He's hitting them in the upper deck in left field in the football stadium.
Yeah, that's not an easy park to hit in. So we don't see him very often, obviously, in the National League, but we've heard a lot about Mike Stanton.
Somebody called in Chris Townsend, the A's post game, and I said, "Trade for Mike Stanton. Get him."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Just go trade for him.
Yeah. Well,
they're going to give him up.
There's no question that the trade talk on talk radio is the best because the fans are convinced you can get anybody for very little. Mike Stanton.
Yeah.
Because why would the Marlins want to keep him?
Right.
Here's Jose Lopez. We know all about Jose Lopez. Many years with the Mariners, then just a couple months with the Rockies. They let him go, and the Marlins picked him up. And now Lopez playing third base. Shallow right field. Tough play, and it is going to be caught by DeJesus going into a slide. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Gio Gonzalez with a little help from David DeJesus.
And batting in the fourth position.
Fans come out to the Coliseum for 80s Day on Sunday, July 17th, when the A's face the Angels at 105, a limited number. Field level tickets are available at a special turn back the clock price of only $19.89. And 15,000 fans will receive MC Hammer bobblehead presented by Supercuts. For more information about 80s Day and tickets, Go to OaklandAthletics.com/1989. Want a deal? $19.89. That's a good deal.
Matsui, Jackson, and Sweeney for the Athletics here in the bottom of the second. Javier Vasquez went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first. Vasquez signed a 1-year free agent contract to come to Florida.
Hideki, I wonder if he ran to left field at the start of the game tonight. The last 3 games he played, he was in left.
He impressed me.
Yes, he did.
I thought he played extremely well.
Have to put that Gold Glove to rest a little while. Maybe, as Bob Melvin said, he might be using him in the outfield, even in the American League.
Down the left field line. It's a long run for Bonifacio, and it's going to drop fair, and it goes to the wall. And Matsui with a leadoff double here in the second. He's really not at all afraid to hit the ball the other way.
Well, especially the way they're pitching him, and they're staying away from him. That was a backdoor slider from Vasquez, and just stayed fair. It would not slice, and see how far Bonifacio was playing away from the line. Figure a pull hitter and a little slushy down in the left field corner. Of course, that's where they squeegeed all the water.
That's true. You're going to find water somewhere tonight. So here's Connor Jackson hitting .265 with a homer and 20 RBIs. Right on the outside corner for a strike. On the ground, Ramirez backhands, straightens up, throws wide, and Jackson safe.
Well, you throw sidearm as Ramirez did. It's tough not to get a sinker, and it's what he threw. A little bit more over the top, but watch how he goes to the side, a little sidearm, and right there, and look at the ball just start going to the right, and of course Sanchez had to come off the bat to keep it from going past him and allowing him to run to score. My bad.
Yeah, so 2 on, nobody out.
Gave him a hit. At least the board did.
Well, here's Sweeney, and the first pitch to Sweeney is low.
Yeah, what to say?
Sweeney 287 with 9 RBIs. Foul straight back. I think that's probably an error, don't you think?
It should be.
I mean, it's not a routine play, but
he had plenty of time. He makes a good throw. He gets Connor Jackson. He knew it. So we put the 11th there up for him, and the scoreboard has a hit in the hit column.
We're going to find out.
No announcement's been made in the press, but do they have an official score tonight? Yeah. Okay. It is Chuck.
Do they have an official score? Yes, they do.
Well, there's an iron 12-minute rain delay.
That's true.
Ramirez looks on the board and he sees a 2 and he says, wait a minute, now it's 1, 2, 3 first inning. Matsui has a hit.
And then he says, thank you for not giving me that error. So 1-2 the count to Sweeney. Suzuki in the on-deck circle. A's with a second inning opportunity against the veteran Javier Vasquez. That one slowly hit to the right side. It's going to get both the runners up. David DeJesus with a nice play to end the top of the second inning.
Well, a long run, too, because it looked like it was going to drop in, but out of nowhere comes David. And a slide, went outfield pass. And out of nowhere also comes Jamal Wicks to jump over him. I got it, and here comes the hurdler. Gio liked it. Well, it's fair also. So great play by DeJesus, robbing him double. Great at bat too by Ryan Sweeney.
So it is an error, Ray. I'm sorry.
No, but Ryan Sweeney getting on the front, rolling over on the ball, which is what you want to do with a couple of runners on in the case, giving yourself up, and just have a chance to get on the board. Something they need to do a little bit more consistent. Okay.
Right field, Stanton on the move. He goes into a dive and he caught it. He's going to get a run home as Matsui trots home. So Suzuki gets the sacrifice fly. So the A's get a 1-0 lead and a nice play in right field by Mike Stanton. So Suzuki gets his 18th RBI of the game.
You can say he's 21. He should move fast, but he's also very big. But he makes a very nice play on a slicing drive, going into the headlong dive, and well, he knows making that effort that if he doesn't catch it, what's going to happen. But he does make a very good play, and Matsui, no reason to not go back to the bag and tag as he did, especially with the outfielder going into the dive and leaving his feet. Very nice play.
So the A's are on the board. 2 outs. Here's David DeJesus. High fastball, swing and a miss.
Very good play, great extension, and of course he knows the outfield grass is soft because it's rained all afternoon. The Dallas Braden cap on with a flat bill.
Yeah. So the air cost the Marlins. That would have been the 3rd out.
Yep. The way the A's are going, they get a situation like that, they'll take an unearned run in any way they can get on the board.
Two and one now to David DeJesus. Phil Cuzzy is calling balls and strikes tonight. Bill Miller at first, Chris Conroy at second, and the crew chief Tom Hallion at third. So Phil Cuzzy, the man behind the dish. Good pitch there, and it's 2-2. Take by DeJesus. Vasquez has always had that good breaking ball. I mean, where he strikes a lot of guys out. Maybe not as great as it used to be, but
a good breaking ball and good movement on his fastball. I would say any manager, pitching coach enjoy having this guy's on the roster because you know he can give him the ball every 5th day. He is very durable and has been throughout his career.
breaking ball outside corner, strike 3 call. The A's get a run, double, and get help with an error and a sacrifice fly.
Today's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. For a holdup that's worth the wait, it's the Great Train Robbery at Roaring Camp Railroads this 4th of July weekend. RoaringCamp.com.
Been on that train?
Oh, yeah. First pitch is a strike to Logan Morrison. Morrison, Buck, and Wise. Quick 0-2.
It's a fastball, curveball. Don't have a chance on either one of them. Now what's he going to throw? Gio could throw a curveball very well to a left-hander. Plus his good fastball.
%30 curveballs for Gio Gonzalez.
Changeup is a work in progress, and he's not throwing a lot, but just enough sometime to take a hitter off the fastball, especially first ball fastball hitters.
Bouncer to Weeks. Morrison is retired, and that's out number 1.
I think it says a lot about Gio Gonzalez with his earned run average starting tonight at 259, even though he's won just 6. But boy, and you can limit the opposition, as we saw Roy Halladay with 251 on Sunday with his start, giving up 1 run. But if it just gets him off, and just instead of 6 and 5, who knows what Gio could have on the win column.
John Buck steps in. Buck hitting .218, 8 homers, 27 runs batted in. Got a 3-year deal to become the everyday catcher for the Florida Marlins. Wise is the on-deck hitter. Just 1 hit so far for the Marlins. That was the first batter of the game, Bonifacio.
A few former American League players in the lineup tonight for the Marlins. Dwayne Wise, one of them. A catch that will always be remembered. Dwayne Wise in Chicago.
Yeah, he's popular in Chicago.
And I'm sure Delaire is going to show that catch.
Of course he is.
He's the best. That day, Dwayne Wise was the best.
So 3-1 to Buck. He likes to swing hard. He takes a fastball right around the knee. Strike 2 call.
It's a pretty good pitch. He thought it was ball, maybe thought it was low, but the power he does doesn't want to swing a bad pitch, but and rightfully so on 3-1. Not so much a hitter's pitch.
To right field, hit pretty well. DeJesus back near the wall. He leaps and he caught it. 2 outs. DeJesus got back there and just jump up a little bit.
But rightfully so, maybe a little bit fooled, because John Buck showing great opposite field power. Very, very big catcher, and Gio upset with himself. You see the reaction from Gio. This ball carried very well. David going back to the wall. And a slight jump, but he might have been just as shocked. You see the ball travel as well as it did to the opposite field. But Gio left the ball up a little bit, just enough for Buck to drive it the way he did.
So here is Wise, hitting in the 9th spot. Yeah, the Marlins center fielder Chris Coughlin, who was a Rookie of the Year a couple years ago, he's on the disabled list. There's a strike, 2-1.
Wise helps Gio out there a little bit. Swung on a pitch that was down. So the count even at 2-2.
Four pitches off fastballs, and probably not the time that he'd throw him a curveball. We'll see if he does. He does.
Wise swings and misses, so that's the second strikeout for Gio Gonzalez. We'll go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 A's. Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Dennis from Santa Rosa asks, what's the promotion for the $12 tickets? I can't find it on the csncalifornia.com site.
Tell us about it, Kai.
All right, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to walk Dennis from Santa Rosa through this. I bet he's got his computer on right now. So Dennis, we will get you to where you need to go so you can check out the Comcast Sportsnet value deck right above us. Sizemore, Weeks, and Pennington for the A's. Breaking ball called a strike, 0-2.
So he's got a computer, he can cut and paste, save everything, and then print it.
Foul straight back.
It's a great deal. About the $19.89 ticket to get to tomorrow. Bart, $2 tickets. Tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
So that was a good one to think about coming, and gonna have to take Bart. Free parking tonight, Tuesday. Free parking, Chevy to free parking. So there's a lot of great things, great deals going on here at the Coliseum.
So 1-2 to Sizemore.
All these people here tonight save parking.
Yeah. Tried to check, and he did, says Bill Miller, the first base umpire.
Saw this crew in Kansas City, Mother's Day weekend. Bill Miller on the plate on that Saturday night. There's the check swing. Bill saw that from first base.
Another breaking ball that's outside. So it was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. Fastball, and Sizemore fouls it down the right field side. 270 for Sizemore with a homer and 11 runs batted in. Bounce to the right side. Infante has it, and that's out number one. All right, Dennis, here's what you do. Go to csncalifornia.com. and then go to the A's drop-down menu. Select Authentic Fan Fridays, then click on the right-hand side, and then click the Purchase Tickets tab. And that'll get you to that. Authentic Fan Fridays. It's coming up this Friday. It'll be the A's and the Diamondbacks. $12 gets you a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an authentic A's t-shirt, a cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher. All that for $12.
We've been up there.
Yes, we have. And that's the Authentic Fan Friday. But you can sit up there every night for $12. So again, there's your deal, Dennis. Hope you can find it. Wise on the run. Near the wall, he's got it. Weeks is retired for out number 2.
Wayne Wise can run. He can track down a baseball. So I think if you're going to hit a ball, hit it more on the line, because Dwayne Wise knows how to go after fly balls. He's done it. Pennington and Chris, and now Jamal Weeks. Especially if they're hit that high, because the ball hangs up quite a while. And again, a lot of rain, hour and 12-minute rain delay tonight, so a little bit of heavy air.
Yep. Pennington hit a drive to center in the first inning. Takes a fastball. Strike on the inside corner. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Pennington in a funk right now. He's 0 for his last 20. So the average, which was up over 260 for a while, is now down to 242.
Got Saturday off in Philadelphia when Adam Rosales hit an opposite field home run, played shortstop that night. Of course, yesterday was off. Gerald Perry trying to get the offense clicking consistently.
Got a piece of the home plate umpire, Phil Cousin. Here's your play, right?
Yep. Perfect game on the line in Chicago. Mark Burley, 9th inning, up against the wall, and as he tumbled to the ground, came out of his glove momentarily, at least snow coned it, and no, he caught the ball. So if you could do that in a perfect game, you could catch anything of any normal variety anyway.
Was that the second out?
Yeah.
First out of the inning or second out? It wasn't the third.
No. No. Third was a ground ball by Gabe Kapler to the shortstop. Right. I think, or at least it was a ground ball to the shortstop. I don't know if it's Kapler. He did that here against Braden.
Pennington goes around. He strikes out. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Javier Vasquez. And we're headed to the 4th. 1-0 A's. Hyundai tonight at 10:30. It's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Highlights and reaction from this game. Camp Alex, part 2 begins, and Barry Zito back on the mound for the Giants tonight in
Chicago, Damon Andrews and Jamie Sire post. Zito pitched well in Chicago. 7 innings, gave up just a couple of runs, 4 hits, and he got the win. The Giants swept the doubleheader from the Cubs today. So the Giants have won 7 in a row. So they limped out of Oakland after the A's swept them.
Lost the first one against the Twins and haven't lost since.
Yeah. 1-1 to Bonifacio, who singled in the first.
I wonder if it's easier to sweep a doubleheader when it's a day-night doubleheader versus a regular doubleheader. Because usually, they're back-to-back, the regulars, at least with day-night, you clear the stands and bring folks back in. So it's just like 2 singles.
What would you rather do as a player? Would you rather play right away, the back-to-back?
I like the day-night.
Do you really?
Yeah, because they feed us well.
Well, it's probably a couple hours at least, right, in between games?
Well, it's... I mean, it could be at least that, if not, maybe a 1 o'clock start, 4 o'clock finish, start at 7 o'clock the next day. So
yeah.
High fastball called by Phil Cuzzy, and Bonifacio thought it was too high, but look where he ended up, crouch and all that, so it's a good call.
3-2 pitch, slowly hit, and it's foul.
I remember a long time ago at Fenway that it actually had one of these, and they fed us so well. Steaks in between innings, fatten us up, so we didn't feel like playing the second
slow
game.
Down a little bit.
But that was a long time ago, because Fenway's always had the smaller capacity inning.
The old
that was the best part.
The old back-to-back doubleheader.
Went up to the Ted Williams room and had lunch, dinner, food. It was good. I think every player and every team would love to be able to go to the park, as the Red Sox are doing now, the Phillies are doing now, and every game at home you're playing in front of a capacity crowd. I mean, we saw it with the Phillies, seen it in Boston. Now, who wouldn't want to come out and see Gio just fire a fastball by a hit of 3-2, as he just did?
Now batting.
So 1 out here in the 4th.
Omar.
Maybe a little bit away, but after the 3-1 fastball was called a strike, did not want to take any chances. But Gio, a very good fastball tonight, especially when a hitter knows that's exactly what he's going to be throwing.
So here's Omar Infante, who hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning. Infante with the Braves last year. He was part of the Dan Uggla trade, which Uggla went from the Marlins to the Braves.
Kurt Suzuki was going to go out and talk to his pitcher after the 2-0 fastball was called the ball. Then he called it a strike, and he started out and he said, I'm going to talk to him anyway.
Hey,
but he thought it was 3-0. Another high strike call by Phil Cuzzy. The iron 12 minutes later, it's a swing the bat. Look at this. Watch Suzuki. Kurt caught that. He thought it was ball. He doesn't know that. Then he started.
Here we go. Throwing her on the horn.
Come on, let's talk about it. Oh, man.
Gio is going to have a very nice 3 up, 3 down, make it 2 up, 2 down inning.
Phil Cuzzy's got us all messed up. A's have teamed up with Wells Fargo to support our local schools. Bring your new school supply donation worth $5 or more to Friday home games, and you'll get a 2-for-1 field double ticket voucher. Wells Fargo and Oakland A's school supply drive at every Friday home game this season through mid-September, teaming up to make a difference.
Here's Gabby Sanchez, who hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Takes a bit outside. 10 in a row retired by Gio Gonzalez.
That's a nice looking bat. I haven't seen that.
Gotta be a good hitter to use that.
Wow. The finish on that bat is unbelievable. I haven't seen that. That's almost a souvenir. That's not even worthy of trying to hit.
I wouldn't use it.
Have to ask Steve Vucinich about that. That's a new, you know, you can order your bats with the length, the weight, I mean, everything about the size of the handle, and you can get also the finish on the bat. Maybe that's just a Florida Marlins, like their media guide, very colorful.
You know who gets those? Guys who are born in Miami, guys who went to college in Miami, and guys who play for the Marlins. You get that kind of bat.
Having a pretty good season,
exactly.
too.
Yeah, he's a good hitter. 301, 13 homers, 45 RBIs. Gabby Sanchez.
See how he handles a 3-1 country fastball. Challenge him, Gio.
Hits it hard. Weeks on the backhand. He's got it. And he throws in time. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for Gio Gonzalez. 1-0 A's. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Who are the three active pitchers with wins over each of the 30 major league teams. Javier Vasquez, he's pitched a lot in both leagues, so he could be on there.
He's done something too that really impressive. How about pitching 44 different stadiums? That's really impressive.
Coco rips one to right. That's a base hit. Stanton will get over there and cut it off. So leadoff single.
I think Mr. Stanton also just showed off his arm. Watch this. I mean, very good hitting by Coco Chris, but very impressive throwing by Mike Stanton in right field if we get the follow through. Watch this. Watch this throw. We're like right on the. That's Roberto Clemente-esque. Great Pittsburgh Pirate, 3,000 hits, Hall of Famer, and boy, what a gun he had in it. Mike Stanton just showed his.
So here's Matsui, who doubled and scored in the second inning. But Javier Vasquez, in his 14th year, he's 156 and 156. But if you look at his statistics across the board, he's really had some good years. He has over 2,400 career strikeouts. And as you said, Ray, takes the ball.
Well, 200 innings is the benchmark right now for a starter. You pitch 200 innings, you're doing something. And of course, he has done it a number of times, and probably very few times that he has not in his career.
I got him for 9 times. But he's been with Montreal, that's where he started, and then New York for a year, Arizona for a year, the White Sox for 3, Atlanta for 1, and then back to the Yankees last year.
Remember when he was with Arizona, he wanted to go back to the East Coast.
Yeah.
It was too far west for him in Arizona. It's 112 in the daytime. Maybe if There's a reason I want to go back to the East Coast. Get some humidity.
He missed the White Sox 05 championship. He was in Arizona, and then he went to the White Sox the next year. And he went to the Yankees in 2010. So he missed their World Series championship season of 09 by a year. He was with the Braves in 09.
You know who else did that? Buck Showalter.
Buck, yeah.
Manager.
Vasquez, probably his best year was 2009 with the Braves. He went 15-10. He had a 2.87 ERA, 238 strikeouts in 219 innings. That's a good year. 10-10 last year with an ERA over 5 in New York.
I think one of the reasons that he has had the success, especially in the strikeouts, you look at Jesus in the second inning, 3-2 from a backdoor slider. He can throw and has a lot of confidence in the slider that he will throw at any time. Pennington, last inning.
Swing and a miss. The 1-2 fastball, and he gets his third strikeout. But you watch him pitch, and then you can't quite figure out how his ERA could be 6.37.
High fastball, no slider here, but Matsui, who went opposite field, scored the only run of the game with a leadoff double in the second inning. And thanks to the error by Ramirez that was eventually called an error.
So here's Connor Jackson. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Coco's a very good base runner, base stealer. Coco Crisp is, and he's thinking about running. Got a pretty good lead, but Vasquez delivered to the plate. Actually had Coco going back to the bag, so he's trying to figure out his move. Pretty good lead by Crisp, but he's just trying to figure out. Maybe you could call Ricky, have Ricky look at Vasquez and say, "What's he doing?"
But we also learned from Ricky that he wasn't that worried about the pitcher's moves.
Well, Jack McKinnon's bouncing around, isn't he? The dugout. Why not? I mean, baseball's a great game.
Jackson squibs one to the right side. Sanchez has it, and he drops it, and everybody's safe. He had to take his eye off it. It was just a little squibber.
We're going to wait to see if that's a base hit for an error. And then with the wet grass, he was just slipping and sliding all over the place. I mean, it's one thing to miss it. Yeah, he looked up right there, and then the ball's behind him, and then he slips, and he get the longer cleats, and he's trying to flip it backhand to his pitcher covering.
So the A's capitalized on a Marlins error in the second. They'll try to do it again. 2 on, 1 out for Sweeney. Sweeney takes a fastball right there for a strike. Grounded out to Sanchez and Sweeney in the second inning. The Texas Rangers won their game today 7-3 over Houston in Houston. It's the first of the 3-game series. So all the other teams in the West will have to win to Stay away from losing ground to the first place Rangers, who are now 42-38. There are some games in progress. The Nationals leading the Angels 5-4 in the 6th inning. And Atlanta leading the Mariners 5-3 in the 7th inning. Mariners-Braves game obviously being played in Seattle. Sweeney waits the 1-2 pitch. Pop-up foul behind the A's dugout.
Davey Johnson taking over the managerial ranks of the Washington Nationals.
Let's see,
68.
68.
Charlie Manuel, we just saw, 67. Jack McKeon, 80. The average age of managers in the Eastern Division of the National League, 65. Jack McKeon, of course, brought that average up with his taking over of this team. Still like sunflower seeds. That's probably why he came back. He probably can't eat sunflower seeds in the owner's box. Unless he has the
probably
cup.
not.
Unless he has the, dispose of the seeds in the cup.
Little pop-up. And Lopez, the third baseman, backpedals, makes the catch. So that's out number 2. So here's Suzuki. Vasquez trying to work his way out of a jam.
Kurt Suzuki.
Suzuki with a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning, picking up his 18th RBI. He's going to need a 2-out hit here. Fastball, tail on it into the strike zone.
That might have been the pitch to do it, too. Vasquez likes to get ahead, and sometimes it is with a first pitch fastball that did have a movement going inside. Well, the scouts again, the Marlins saying play shallow in the outfield. We're seeing it again.
Yep, big time.
So we've seen Dwayne Wise go back on fly balls, so he doesn't have to worry about them. Of course, in this case, playing shallow in the outfield for any base hit in front of them. Trying to throw out the runner at second base, who is Coco Crisp, runs very well. Wet track might affect not only the runner, but the ball hit to the outfield because all the water was dumped in the outfield grass.
Strike 2 called on the outside corner.
Watch it start outside, and does he land his hand on the back of John Buck? That's so. I mean, it affects you as a catcher. You got somebody leaning on you.
Disturbing.
If you kind of expect it, that's okay. But somebody does it and you're not.
Well, yeah.
That's
you are trying to catch.
Yeah. But it's kind of a balance, you know. You watch number 10. We'll let John Buck get set. I wouldn't want that.
No, I wouldn't either. I'd be get your hands off me and trying to catch. So the A's do not score. They leave a pair. We're going to the 5th. 1-0 Athletics. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in a Box. For a limited time, Jack's Really Big Chicken Sandwich Combo is back. 2 chicken patties, bacon, melted cheese served with a 20-ounce drink, and a small, seasoned curly fries order for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Top of the 5th inning, the A's with a 1-0 lead over the Marlins. Hanley Ramirez, Mike Stanton, Jose Lopez. 4, 5, and 6 for Florida. First pitch to Ramirez is a strike. He struck out swinging in the first inning.
See, that's a first pitch changeup that Gio threw it to Ramirez, and if he is able to throw the changeup consistently, hitters, especially ones who like to look first pitch fastball, will not be able to catch up to him. And then he comes back with a good low 90s heater.
This will be pitch number 59 for Gio Gonzalez. That one bounced up the middle, but Pennington ranges to his left, and that is out. Number 1. "12 in a row retired by Gio Gonzalez.
Now batting, number 27, Mike Stanton.
So Mike Stanton steps in. Fastball is outside, 94 miles an hour.
I already had 2 pitchers pitching tonight who we saw Gio go over the 200 inning mark last year for the first time. To get a chance to start every day.
Connor Jackson has a play, and he's got it. 2 outs.
A lot of foul ground here. As we know, the Florida Marlins, for those young players who are here for the first time, realizing that there is a lot of foul territory. Of course, they also play in a multi-purpose stadium.
Not for long.
Next year, they will move into their new stadium, and this Coliseum will be the last remaining multi-purpose stadium.
Marlins Ballpark is what it's going to be called.
Sun Life's not involved in them?
I don't think so. It'll have a retractable roof, and quite frankly, they need it as much as anybody with the rain they get in South Florida. And it'll be the same kind of retractable roof as in Seattle, I believe. Well, I don't know if it's open on the sides like Seattle is, but it's going to have the same type of, where it moves over top of the playing surface on the rails.
And that's all they need. Just keep the rain out. They don't need weather's always warm there. Seattle can get actually pretty cool, pretty cold there, but the elements still there, but you just don't have to worry about rainouts.
And there's a 4-pitch walk to Jose Lopez. It'll be a seating capacity of 37,000, so it's not a real big ballpark. I don't know the Miami area very well, but it's going to be built. It is being built on the same site as where the Orange Bowl was. The Orange Bowl, of course, knocked down, and the new ballpark is going to be there. So I'm sure a very exciting time for the Marlins organization as they will move in next year to Marlins Ballpark. Took them a long time to finally be able to put it all together and get a new ballpark. They went through a lot trying to figure out how to get it done. 0-1 to Logan Morrison, who grounded out in the 3rd inning.
Morrison just acted. He balked. He said he did something to balk. That's concentrating on your pitcher. Concentrated so much he thought runner should have been advanced to second base. Saw Bob Davidson. He had balked in the night.
Yeah.
Bases loaded.
Yeah.
That looked like he just twitched. Balking Bob got him.
Got him good. 0-2 to Morrison. Fastball is high.
They got Dwayne Wise with a curveball to strike him out in the 3rd inning. It was on 2-2. See if he throws a good hook right here. Challenge.
And threw it right by him. Logan Morrison is 0 for 2. Marlins strand a runner. Do not score. 1-0 A's. Bottom of the 5th. For each of the 30 major league teams, that's our AT&T trivia question. The answer is Javier Vasquez, Barry Zito, Vicente Padilla. So Vasquez has been pretty good tonight. Gio Gonzalez has been terrific. And the A's with a 1-0 lead. The first pitch to David Jesus is a strike, followed by Scott Sizemore. And then Jamal Weeks. A's have 2 hits. The Marlins have 1. This is just like when the A's played the Mets. This is just the 3rd time that the A's and the Marlins have played against each other. 3rd series, I should say. To right field, but playable for Stanton, and he's got it. So out number 1. Time now for our Farmers Insurance Report Card. Mark Ellis is a Florida Gator alumnus. Freshman year, played third base. Sophomore year, third base. And then his final 2 years, slid over to the shortstop spot. So Mark Ellis keeping a close eye on his Florida Gators in the College World Series.
When did he play second base?
Never did. So the Florida Gators got to the final best of 3 at the College World Series. And they lost game 1 to South Carolina, and then they lost again today. So they are out. And South Carolina, I believe they repeat as national champions. So Landon Powell has bragging rights over Mark Ellis.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch to Sizemore. And that's right there. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 4 for Javier Vasquez. But we got the footage. Check it out. Mark Ellis as a collegiate, University of Florida. Uh-oh. We know that swing. We know that swing.
Wow. Oppo.
There he is.
Number 2.
That's great. One of our favorites.
Wearing the old double ear flap, aluminum bats.
And going the other way. Lopez stopped short. The ball was playable.
And he's played here before. It's not like this is a new facility that he's unfamiliar with the foul territory. Going to a slide, probably could have caught it. Especially run that far and you don't even make an effort. And the ball always comes back, especially off the left-handed hitters will come back into play as that one was.
First pitch is high to Weeks. Weeks, a little flare to right field. Stanton on the run, a basket catch. Side retired. 5 in a row. Retired for Javier Vasquez. And we're headed to the 6th. Still 1-0 game.
I am Nick Jonas. A few years ago, my dad.
July 2nd as the A's face the Diamondbacks. Come enjoy the patriotic fireworks show from the outfield grass after the game. Show is presented by Paramount Pictures and Marvel Entertainment's Captain America in theaters July the 22nd. For tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. Hope it doesn't rain. Would not want the folks to go on the outfield grass and get wet.
No, that would take away some of the fun.
Yeah. And maybe upset Clay Wood. But Clay's in this game.
Big swing by John Buck, fouled back. 1-1 the count. Buck, Wise, and Bonifacio. Right now, the Marlins are trying to figure out Gio Gonzalez. They have not been able to do it for the first 5 innings. Roll foul.
Well, he's mixing his pitches perfectly tonight. Gio, of course, challenging guys with fastballs, also a good curveball, occasional changeup, kind of percentage we showed as far as mostly fastballs and curveballs and occasional changeup.
The 2 pitch is flipped to right field. DeJesus coming in. He's going to get there, and he does. So Buck is flied out twice, one's deep and one shallow to DeJesus in right field. Angels are leading the Nationals 6-5 in the 6th inning. Down in Anaheim.
Number 10.
Braves 5, Mariners 4, 8th inning up in Seattle. Couple of tight games there. He gave you that Texas score 7-3. C.J. Wilson got his 8th win. Rangers hit 3 home runs. Hamilton, Moreland, and Kinsler. Moreland's got 11.
Is that a night game? Must have been.
Yeah.
Because it's the only time Josh Hamilton hits.
That's right. High fly ball to Sweeney and left. He goes back over. He's got it. Wise is retired. 2 outs. The marquee matchup tonight was in Philadelphia, where we just were. Phillies 5, Boston nothing. But listen to this, Ray. Cliff Lee, a 2-hit shutout. Had a no-hitter through 5 innings. It was his 3rd consecutive shutout. He's got a scoreless inning streak of 32 innings. So Cliff Lee is dealing. His last 5 starts, he's 5-0 with a 0.21 ERA. So Cliff Lee is doing his thing. A 2-hit shutout over the Boston Red Sox. Oh, 2.
Was that Beckett's game?
Yes, it was Beckett. He was the loser. He's 6-3.
Well, stomach problem. Had to miss a regular start as far as they pushed him back a little bit. But that was a match, Mark. I bet they had a sellout too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Also, Terry Francona going back to his first manager's
right
in Philadelphia. Found out just how badly they can boo you.
Yeah. Turned out all right for
yes,
Mr. Francona.
You got a chance to have him right here in Oakland, and he moved on to very great career as a manager of the Boston Red Sox.
Swing and a miss. Bonifacio strikes out. The tag is put on, and that is 5 strikeouts, and Gio is dealing big time. 1-0 A's. Light 6th inning. It's time for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Coors Light Freeze Can is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. One to nothing, the A's lead. It is the bottom of the 6th inning. Just 3 hits in the game total. Pennington takes the first pitch strike from Javier Vasquez, who has allowed 2 hits. He has not walked anybody, and he has struck out 4, and the 1 run that he allowed is an unearned run because of an error by the shortstop. The Yankees beat Milwaukee 12-2 at Yankee Stadium today. Garcia over Greinke. Mark Teixeira hit a home run. What a surprise. He's got 24 home runs and 62 RBIs. So the Yankees win, the Red Sox lose. So that's a 1.5 game lead now for New York.
Amazing thing about the Yankees, of course, facing Zach Greinke now, Faced him when he's in the American League with the Royals, but Zach Greinke's been pitching well since he came back from the disabled list with an off-season basketball injury that put him on the DL.
7 earned runs in 2 innings tonight, though, for Greinke, so he takes the loss. He's 7-3 now for the Brew Crew. Tampa Bay won 4-3. A walk-off home run by Evan Longoria, leading off the bottom of the ninth. He's hot. And so are the Rays. They've won 9 out of their last 11, and they remain 2.5 back.
Did you see what Longoria did when he was struggling? He went sans batting gloves.
Really?
Yeah. Stopped wearing batting gloves, and he had a great weekend.
Yes, he did.
Did not see him tonight with the walk-off, but I have to check the highlights, see if he's back wearing them. But, very rarely do you see players wear or not wear batting gloves. Cliff Pennington has 2 on. That's in case they get that sticky pine tar on their hands.
Well, Longoria's got 5 home runs in his last 8 games.
Well, you knew he wasn't going to stay down too long.
He's pretty good.
He is very good. Did I give you that information?
Of course he did. He's good. Another foul ball. The Mets bombed Detroit 14-3. 2 grand slams by the Mets. Bay and Beltran. How about that?
Boy, to get out of... Are they at home? No, they're on the road or still?
It was in Detroit.
Yeah, see, they get out of Citi Field. That's what happens.
Yeah, Detroit's like a bandbox for them. So Detroit loses, the Indians lose, and the White Sox lose. Those are the top 3 teams in the AL Central. So Tigers still have a 1-game lead over Cleveland, 5 over the White Sox. The Indians lost in Arizona. Willie Mo Pena with a walk-off 2-run homer. For the Diamondbacks, they beat the Indians 6-4. So the Diamondbacks with the win, but because the Giants swept the doubleheader, they still lose a half a game in the standings. So they're 2.5 behind San Francisco. Another 3-2, and this one's drilled left center field. Bonifacio over there, and he makes the catch.
Celebrate summer with the A's 12th annual Mug Root Beer Float Day this Thursday. Join us as A's players Andrew Bailey, Craig Breslow, Gio Gonzalez, Adam Rosales, Jamal Weeks, Brad Ziegler serve Mug Root Beer floats, along with manager Bob Melvin, former players, wives of players, and broadcasters. Admission is free with a game ticket, and all proceeds benefit the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Gates open early, 10:35 in the morning. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com.
First pitch to Coco Crisp, his first strike. We're going to work side by side this year. Root Beer Float Day.
You're the best.
No, you're the best.
You are the best.
See, the problem is when you work next to Ray Fosse, as Coco Crisp has a line drive base hit, is you work hard because the line is the longest because everybody wants to meet Ray. So you got to be ready to do your best scooping, and you got to do it in a hurry.
Number 55.
Don't you try to change the subject.
Coco going opposite field. Couple of hits for Coco. Pull the ball down the right field line. Now goes outfield. Let's see if he runs this time. Maybe he's figured out what Vasquez is doing. Must be doing something. He's keeping him close. You know Coco knows about this guy who's leading, Jacoby Ellsbury. Guys know numbers.
Matsui doubled and scored in the second, and then struck out swinging in the fourth.
So he started going again. It's almost like Vasquez is holding and then quick pitching. Coco kind of dancing a little bit like he wanted to take off, but unsure of whether Vasquez is going to the plate or not.
Pop up behind third. Lopez gets back on the grass. He's got it. That's out number 2.
Now batting, first baseman, number 28.
So Connor Jackson will hit.
Jackson.
.95 pitches now for Vasquez. Fastball runs inside.
The number of pitches, if Vasquez had a put-away pitch, 17 balls have been fouled tonight by the A's players with 2 strikes. I mean, those are just extra pitches that.
That's an inning.
That's 5 by Weeks in the first batter, and then Pennington just had a 10-pitch at bat, fouling off 5 after getting behind in the count. And you're right. That's a full inning. And maybe in some cases, inning and a half. 9, 12 pitches per inning get you a complete game. Well, I guess that's why Coco's not getting a very good jump.
That's a long time. And this is a guy who this year was 95 innings. Well, he's thrown 76 coming into tonight, but 96 hits and 33 walks. That's a lot of base runners. So there's been a lot of guys on base against him.
Coco shaking his head. That says it all right there. He's concentrating. He's been on a couple of times, and he does not have an attempt.
So is it just simply some guys you just can't get a good read on?
Well, but Ricky's philosophy is the best. Forget about the stopwatch with the coach at first base. Forget about the times of the pitcher. If you're going to go, go.
Not running. Slider outside. 3-1 to Connor Jackson, who's reached on an error and then reached on an error again in the second inning and in the fourth inning. Pitch, good swing there by Jackson as he looked for a pitch to hit, and he got it, and he lined it foul.
Unfortunate for Connor, good fastball hitter, but the fastball was tailing inside, and as he started his swing, looked like it might be an extra base hit, but the ball just kept running, and all he could do was pull the hands in and unfortunately pull it foul. Hit it well, but ended up in foul territory. Pretty good chance Coco will run now, though.
I would hope so. Popped up just below us. Pitch number 102 for Vasquez, and this one's driven to right and very playable for Stanton. He's got it, side retired. So the A's strand a runner, and we're headed to the 7th inning, still 1-0 A's. by McDonald's. 2003, Marlins won it all, and Jack McKeon was their manager. He took over that year for Jeff Torborg after 38 games. And he leads the Marlins with a little help from Josh Beckett. That was the final out of that World Series. Beckett was terrific, and the Marlins won it all. That's a young Miguel Cabrera. So the Marlins behind Jack McKeon in 2003. He was the A's manager in 77 and 78.
A's weren't very good either.
Tough years, yeah.
Yeah.
So 80 years old, Jack McKeon in charge.
Well, Mike Thaublin, the visiting clubhouse manager downstairs, said that Jack McKeon was talking about Frank Sinchek, the longtime equipment manager for the Athletics, clubhouse manager on the home side. Said Jack's memory is very good. He's talking about Frank, like great Frank Sinchek.
Well, the Marlins were an expansion team in 1993. They came in with the Colorado Rockies. And it took them just 5 years. Year number 5, and they won it all in 1997, and then again, as you just saw, in 2003. So they've only been to the postseason twice in their existence, and both times they went as a wild card, and both times they won it all. How about that? The sad part was after the 1997 World Series. I mean, they had a terrific team, but everybody got traded away.
Fire sale.
Yeah, big time fire sale.
But to do that after 97 and come back 6 years later and win it all again, you know, the Minnesota Twins did it also at 87 and 91, did the exact same thing and kind of regrouped after the 87 and came back and did it again 91.
Leadoff walk to Infante here in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Gabby Sanchez. So leadoff walk, and now you face the heart of the order. Sanchez, and then Ramirez, and then Stanton. Fastball right there. Sanchez 0 for 2, hit into a double play, and then grounded out. Just big swing. It's a high pop up, and that's going to be into the seats. Sanchez, one of those young, talented players we talked about with the Florida Marlins. Last year, in his first full year, 273 with 19 homers and 85 runs batted in, 37 doubles. He goes around at 0-2.
Home plate umpire did it.
Phil Cuzzy calls it, and they're going to throw him out as Sanchez fires his bat. So not only does he strike out, but the Marlins lose one of their best hitters. Once you throw a piece of equipment, in this case the bat, you got a pretty good chance of being thrown out.
Well, there is such a thing as equipment violation. And you could be fined. That was not a swing either.
Nope.
And look at Gio. Gio's pointing. He wants an appeal to first base, and still Phil Cuzzy calls it. That's not even close.
Wow.
We saw it in Philadelphia. It was ridiculous then. It's ridiculous here, even though it helps the A's. But there's no way a home plate umpire can see that. Well, in this case, no swing. And why they don't just automatically defer to first and third base umpire is beyond me. Why they wouldn't think about calling themselves. That was no swing. But Bill Miller, remember we were in Kansas City and Josh Willingham was ejected. He was going to not eject him. It was just going to be an equipment violation when he fired his helmet. So there's a difference, but immediately Phil Cuzzy threw him out. So I don't know if Sanchez said something, but definitely threw his bat. But that was not a swing.
So Gio gets the strikeout, his 6th, and here's Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez is having a terrible year, 216.
Seems to be hitting a little bit better with Jack McKeon, the manager.
He's too good to be hitting 216.
Jack also held him out of the lineup when he was late for a meeting when he first took over. Absolutely. rules are rules, and sat him down.
Strike inside corner. Ramirez is the cornerstone of this ball club. I say that because they gave him a long-term contract. He signed through 2014. Look at the year in 09, 342. Year before that, 33 home runs. Tonight, a strikeout and a ground out. Right here, he's behind in the count 0-2. And he goes down swinging on a breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 outs. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Play the zone only at Cache Creek. Get a chance to play the Red Hot Zone. Visit CacheCreek.com for details. So 2 outs here in the 7th. Omar Infante, who led off the inning of the walk, is still at first base. And here's Mike Stanton. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball in the dirt.
And we're talking about Gio throwing a lot of fastballs early, and now all of a sudden the curveball is coming into play very big for him. As hard as he throws, you get up for the fastball and he drops the hook. It's very tough not to swing at.
Swing and a miss again. 0-2.
4-pitch walk to Infante to lead off the inning, all fastballs, and here he comes back to the strikeout of Sanchez, which was not. Got Ramirez the curveball. Trying to do the same with Stanton.
Got him swinging on 3 pitches. Stanton strikes out. Gio strikes out 3 after the leadoff walk. 7th inning stretch. Gio's the story. The A's with a 1-0 lead. Through 7 innings, gives up just 1 hit with 8 strikeouts and a couple of walks so far.
Well, the top half of the inning, amazing, as Greg Dobbs goes in first base as Sanchez was ejected. But Gio, 9 pitches, the middle of the batting order, all strikes, all curveballs.
And about 6 of them in the dirt.
Exactly.
Good breaking ball there to Sweeney in first strike. Ryan Sweeney's 0 for 2. about the last 2 starts in the open of our show and add tonight's start. Not too bad. Angels still leading the Nationals 6-5 in the 8th inning. And they've gone to the 9th at Safeco with the Braves leading 5-4 over the Mariners. Texas has won. Fastball, strike 3 called. Sweeney is out, and that is strikeout number 5 for Vasquez.
I think with Phil Cuzzy behind the plate, swinging the bat. He is strike zone, although that's a pretty good pitch. Outside corner pitch that Ryan Sweeney normally takes the opposite field, hits it hard.
It's Badenhop on the right and Mike Dunn on the left. First pitch to Suzuki is popped up towards Stanton in right field. And that's out number 2. So Kurt Suzuki 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. And here's DeJesus.
Now batting, right fielder, number 12, David DeJesus.
DeJesus, a strikeout and a fly ball to right field. Breaking ball, first strike.
You like to look at these 2 pitchers tonight and just throw out the pitch count because they're pitching so well. Gio, of course, we've seen him and Vasquez without the unearned run. It's be a scoreless game.
Foul territory. It's going to be the third baseman Lopez. Soft ground, makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down inning, and we're on to the 8th.
Wednesdays are back every Wednesday this season, including tomorrow. You can get a Plaza Level, Plaza Outfield, or Plaza Reserve ticket for just $2. Take advantage of this offer during some of the biggest matchups of the year with the Angels, Rangers, Marlins tomorrow, and more. Get tickets for all Bart $2 Wednesdays tomorrow at the Coliseum box office by phone 877-493-BALL, and to order online, visit oaklandathletics.com. Tomorrow, Wednesday, right?
Yep.
$2 tickets.
Yep.
Place should be jam-packed tomorrow night with the $2 ticket offer. Bart, $2 Wednesdays.
Sizemore charges and throws out Lopez. But not only that, the Cal baseball team is going to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, which is exciting.
Wow.
Those guys deserve a lot of credit. Think about that. Their program was shut down.
This was going to be their last year.
This was it.
Yeah, this is it.
Logan
And that's a great point, because not only the $2 tickets, you come out and you watch those guys, and how about Bob Melvin?
Yeah,
Lum,
big time.
Connor Jackson, Tyson Ross.
It's a terrific program.
Gotta be some
it really
more.
is.
Those guys just for the A's, the Cal alums. What a great story this year, and the program will not end with their College World Series appearance. They will continue to play, and it's great. A lot of great Major League players who are active went to Cal.
So that'll be fun. Their program is almost done. It ends up, they go to the College World Series for the first time since 1992. So the Golden Bears will throw out the first pitch tomorrow, so that'll be fun. And again, as Ray said, $2 tickets are still available for tomorrow's game between the A's and the Marlins. 1-2 pitch to Logan Morrison is outside. 2-2 the count. A one-hitter for Gio Gonzalez, and that one hit was the first batter of the game, Bonifacio. How about that? 3-2 now with John Buck in the on-deck circle.
2 walks for Gio. Last one, a 4-pitch walk. And Lopez also in the 5th inning, a 4-pitch walk.
3-2 pitch. Pretty good take there by Morrison, and that's a 1-out walk.
Well, he was able to see the break, and sometimes a left-hander can do that. See the break on the curveball.
Now batting.
It's like
number
Morrison
14,
knew. He took all 3
John
curves the same
Buck.
way. Didn't even come close to a check swing.
You get double action out in the A's bullpen. Devine and Fuentes. Fuentes already throwing. So here's Buck, powerful right-handed hitter. He got 8 home runs. First pitch breaking ball is low. After Buck, it'll be Dwayne Wise. High fly ball right field. DeJesus is going to have room. He's got it right near the warning track, and that's out number 2.
Buck was a scary guy, or definitely is a scary guy from the right side going opposite field. He did it. Same type of swing.
Now batting,
His first at bat, a ball that went to the wall. He was just so powerful. And after the walk to Morrison and Buck coming up, at least kept him in the park.
Strikeout and a flyout for Wise. Fastball right there for a strike. $103 pitches for Gio. And now it's 0-2. Gio would be a kind of guy, if you were facing him, you just would not want to be 0-2. Lays off that breaking ball. The Braves held on and beat the Mariners 5-4 up in Seattle. So the Atlanta Braves have won the first 2 games of that series. They won last night 3-1. Win tonight 5-4 over the Mariners. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9 for Gio Gonzalez. He has been sensational so far tonight.
upper deck? No way!
Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Javier Vasquez, very good tonight. He goes 7 innings, gives up just 3 hits and an unearned run. Not as good as Gio Gonzalez. 8 shutout innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, and the only run in the game, a sacrifice fly by Kurt Suzuki in the 2nd inning, who would score Matsui, and that is it. Hits and runs hard to come by. 0-1-2 for the Marlins, 1-3-0 for the Athletics. So Vasquez is out of the game. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So it's Burke Medenhop comes in, the tall right-hander. Burke Medenhop. Sizemore, Weeks, and Pennington, and on the outside corner with that pitch, 1-2. Bailey starts to throw, so Gio Gonzalez, 8 innings, and that's going to be enough tonight. He was terrific.
We saw the handshakes after the last inning, or at the top of this inning.
Sizemore strikes out.
Time now for the Home Depot doing more on defense. David DeJesus, a continuation of his airless games, played to right field, and this one would have been a base hit, but he robbed as he went to the slide. The ball was fair, but he caught it, slid into foul territory as Jamal Weeks jumped over him to avoid any collisions. David DeJesus doing it. Home Depot. Got a new haircut.
Jamal Weeks.
John Buck, former teammate, catching now for the Marlins.
First pitch to Weeks, in for a strike for Medenhop. 0 for 3 tonight for Jamal. Ground out, fly out, and another fly out. Slider snaps in there, 0-2. On the ground, backhanded, it dropped by Infante, and Weeks is going to be aboard. We'll see what he's going to get.
Base hit. Join us tonight on A's Postgame Live for the A-Team. It will be a special presentation as all 4 broadcasters, Ken Corrick, Vince Cotroneo. That's supposed to be you reading this because that says Ray Fawcett, but it'd be myself, so it'd be you. So get together and have an unscripted roundtable discussion about tonight's game. We're going to call it the A-Team.
We're all one, Ray.
And it's only on A's Postgame Live right here on Comcast Sports 10 California after the game. You know, I'm reading, I said, I'm not supposed to say my name and myself. Grady, how long have we been working together here? You know, this is Glenn. Grady, this is Glenn Kuiper.
Hi, Grady.
I'm Ray. How you doing?
Nobody gets away with anything in this booth. It's a tough crowd.
I mean, Grady dropped it in front of me, so just started going. It was a base hit.
So you're like Ron Burgundy and Anchorman. Just whatever comes up on the teleprompter, you just read. Got him in trouble.
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
You're right. Anyway, so we're going to try something new tonight. That'll be part of A's Post Game Live. So the 4 of us look forward to it. We'll have some fun. We'll talk about the ball game with Vince and Ken, good friends.
So we can talk about Jamal Weeks maybe stealing second, getting an insurance run here in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the batting order for the Marlins in the 9th. 1 hit for the Marlins. Gio walks 3. A's did a good job Saturday night in Philadelphia. As Andrew Bailey came into the 8th inning, and the A's added a couple in the 9th. Really insurance for the club from a 2-1 to a 4-1 lead.
Weeks went about a third of the way and then stopped. He ends up at second on the ground now. But if Pennington doesn't make contact, He was kind of right in the middle between first and second. He ends up at second anyway.
And that's maybe why Dobbs didn't throw, because you're right. Dobbs probably saw Weeks take off or realized he had taken off, and right there he had time to get the lead runner. But he was down on his knees. Dobbs placing Gabby Sanchez, who was ejected unnecessarily. Gabby, if you're watching, you didn't swing.
You're right. I said Sanchez, and it's Dobbs. So here's your chance for the insurance run as Coco Chris steps in. He's 2 for 3.
Well, the insurance run's a second. Those 2 Weeks starting to run, did not, but able to get him to scoring position. Outfield still playing shallow.
.3-0. So Badnap going to that changeup. Now they will put him on. So it'll be Matsui. It's the first walk of the night for Marlins pitchers.
I don't know if they've been so eager to load up first base for Hideki Matsui, because he's an RBI man. It's one of the bullpen, which Jack Keen's going to do that. I liked it when Jack, it's a lefty, but when his pitcher was, or his first baseman's ejected, I'll finish in a minute.
Please do.
Is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
Well, the A's with a 1-0 lead, then they have a chance for more as Randy Choate comes on, and he will face Matsui. So lefty on lefty with 2 on and 2 out.
A familiar face for the Athletics and the American Leaguers, seeing Randy Choate. And here's a little sidewinded delivery.
Matsui tonight doubled and scored in the second, struck out in the fourth, popped out in the sixth. Plenty of speed on the bases with Weeks at second, Crisp at first. The Angels have busted their game open. They've scored 5 times in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Angels now lead the Nationals 11-5. Choate catches the corner with a strike, 1-1.
Davey Johnson said he was extremely happy to be back on the field in the dugout. After a 5-run, maybe not. Davey Johnson, a great home run hitter for the Orioles and the Braves. Second baseman. You know, I said about Jack McKeon when Sanchez was ejected, he came out of the dugout and he motioned to Phil Cuzzy, come here. You didn't want to run out there, I guess. Sometimes when you're 80, you just don't move as fast, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know that the umpire's going to sprint over to talk to him.
He came out, he said, come here. What do you want, Jack? But, you know, they have to accommodate him. I don't, you know, umpires should go. Yeah, I've seen umpires actually at first base with an umpire coming out of the third base dugout, meet him halfway. If you want to argue this, speed it up a little bit.
Well, that is true. That is part of the umpire responsibility to keep the game moving.
But I just wonder when Jack McKeon went out to exchange lineup cards going over the ground rules, he said, well, they were the same in 1977, 78. So not much has changed.
Probably not.
Mount Davis doesn't come into play.
No.
But everything else is the same. There's not really much that has changed since then.
That one. Jam shot rolls fouled on the third baseline. In the top of the ninth inning, it will be the top of the order for the Marlins. Bonifacio, Infante. No Gabby Sanchez, though. Greg Dobbs. And that group will face that guy, Andrew Bailey. Two pitch is low, and now a full count. Connor Jackson is in the on-deck circle. So if Choate, this is the only guy he's going to face no matter what. Two pitch right there. Matsui took it. So the A's strand a pair. We're going to the ninth. It's 1-0, and Bailey's coming in. It's a 1-0 game from the Coliseum. And Andrew Bailey comes in to try to close it, and his first pitch is in for a strike. So it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Bailey will be looking for his 6th save. Bonifacio fouls it back, so it's quickly 0-2. Bonifacio, Infante, and then Dobbs. Dobbs is a left-handed hitter. Chopper, Sizemore is going to have to hurry. He throws, and he throws it away. And Bonifacio is very fast. But luckily, the angle the ball was thrown at, it did not go down toward the bullpen. Otherwise, he would have been easily standing at third. But instead, Bonifacio to second, and he stops there. And it's an E5.
Well, you said it correctly. The speed right there. And then the hurried throw by Sizemore. He barely got the ball out of his glove, knowing that it's got to be quick, and just did not have the grip. And Connor Jackson reaching back as far as he could to the right. And so that quickly, a challenge for Andrew Bailey.
So here's Infante, corner infielders on the edge of the grass. Infante to bunt, and he pops it up foul. There's an old theory in baseball. I don't know if it works or not.
I know what you're going to say.
You play for the tie at home. Play for the win on the road. This bunting here would not be falling into that category because you'd be playing for a tie on the road.
Well, right-handed hitter, all you have to do is just delay your swing, and you're probably going to do that with the low 90s fastball with Andrew Bailey anyway. You probably hit the ball to the right side. I agree with you. At first attempt, which was not a very good attempt of a bunt sacrifice.
This one popped up, and the point being, you play for a tie when you're at home because you're always going to get that last at bat.
Jack McKeon, when he won in 2003, probably did that a lot. Just when it gets the grain, as far as what the old book says.
He also had Cabrera.
Yeah. Beckett.
Mike Lowell.
That's right.
1-2 pitch. Foul back again. This one just to our right. Dobbs is in the on-deck circle, and then after Dobbs, it's Hanley Ramirez. So that's the group that's going to try to get the tying run home here in the top of the 9th inning. Eduardo Perez right there, the new hitting coach. He has seen his team get just 1 hit tonight. But yet, they have the tying run at second base and nobody out here in the 9th. Outside with a fastball, 94 miles an hour. Looked like it was a little out. Swing and a miss. He got him. Infante chased a pitch out of the strike zone.
Fremont Bank plays of the game. Gio Gonzalez, 9 strikeouts tonight, and Gio was outstanding as always. I've got 3 with the fastball, the rest with that pitch, the nasty curveball, and he got the fastball, Morrison, but the 3 in a row, and getting Sanchez, Ramirez, and Stanton. Although Sanchez really wasn't a strikeout, but he called him out anyway. But the strikeouts with the curveball, outstanding, and 1 hit. Gio Gonzalez in 8 innings, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks. Another tremendous performance by the A's lefty. The big strikeout by Andrew Bailey as Infante was trying to hit the ball to the right side and had taken and fouled off a couple of pitches that were pretty tough ones.
First pitch to Dobbs, right down the middle for a strike.
Now this is a hard slider to Infante from Andrew Bailey out of the strike zone. Actually cut fastball. I said slider, but had the movement and break like a slider, but it's a cutter that he throws. His elbow straightened out a little bit after his surgery last winter, so maybe it's not as much as a cutter, but a good pitch nonetheless.
Dobbs, swing and a miss right under the hands, 0-2.
It's just a challenge fastball, as he did with the first pitch that he took. This one more inside, kind of tied him up a little bit.
Fouls that one back. Dobbs is in the game because Gabby Sanchez, statistically probably the best hitter for the Marlins, was thrown out of the game for arguing a check swing that was called a strike. Another 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 outs.
Excellent fastball, a little bit up in the zone, and of course Bob Melvin's talking to Andrew Bailey. Ramirez, Stanton, first base open, and I don't think that's anything more than go get it. Just a little bit extra confidence maybe for Andrew Bailey. No thought. I mean, Stanton alone is a threat if you even consider putting Ramirez on base. But Andrew Bailey, game should be over right now. At the ground ball, a couple of strikeouts.
First pitch to Ramirez is off-speed pitch that stays inside. So a sacrifice fly by Kurt Suzuki back in the second inning is the only run in this game. 13 straight one-run losses. It's just part of what has just been a complete meltdown by the Marlins this year. They have lost 22 of their last 25 games. 1-1 pitch to Ramirez. Up and away, 2-1. Bonifacio is at second. He reached on an error. Swing and a miss. He came right in the wheelhouse, and he got it past him. 2-2.
I think the pitch was supposed to be outside, but kind of ran inside. Suzuki sets up outside, and great frame job, but unnecessary because of the big swing. And there's no doubt Ramirez starts his swing, tries to get the front foot down, but we have seen him tonight with Gio Gonzalez striking out a couple of times, fastball and a curveball. Can he do it again?
Up and away, 3-2.
And he could throw him a little cut fastball, maybe get him to chase. He's going to be gearing for the fastball. So we go the four-seamer or the cutter.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Ramirez throws his bat. And how about that performance by Andrew Bailey with the tying run at second and nobody out? He strikes out Infante, Dobbs, and Ramirez. And that's a pretty good save for Andrew Bailey. He saves it for Gio Gonzalez, who gets his 7th win of the year. Shutout at the Coliseum tonight. The A's shut out the Florida Marlins, a final score of 1-0. Terrific performance by the pitching staff. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody Brazil and Fernando Vina starts right now. 1-0. A's win it.